So let's get into multiple topics here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing the videos. And don't forget, check out our music entertainment playlist for more videos like this. We're going to talk about KodakBlack suing the prisons for sexual torture and not being able to see his rabbi. But first, we'll talk about Quavo. He added DJ Akademiks on Twitter. Akademiks went on the Everyday Struggle, and they did this segment called On the Clock, and they said the Migos are on the clock. He didn't like his criticism of the Migos. But let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I don't really agree with Akademiks a lot with a lot of stuff. The beefs that he got with different artists. But I definitely agree with him on this when he said that basically the Migos on the clock. He said they was the hottest artists on the planet at one point. And they basically spawned a lot of people that kind of took a lot from them. And he said that basically they got away from the lifestyle. They used to do videos in the bando. They was the hottest at the Bad and Bougie, and then pretty much they crossed over and started hanging with celebrities in Beverly Hills. And he said now that they basically got commercialized, I'm going to say it for them, they commercialized, they not the same no more. And, they haven't dropped none in a minute in 2020. Now, there's also a backstory to that. They're suing a record label, QC. They also shared a lawyer. They suing for that one. They suing for a bad deal. They saying QC is not doing nothing for them. And they basically getting a check for no reason. So, therefore, this album that they got ain't coming out until they, reconcile those differences with quality control, QC. And, obviously it's been some rumors that I think Takeoff got beat up, somewhere in Atlanta. Migos got jumped by Lil Baby, allegedly both by Lil Baby goons. And, so it's a lot. So Akademiks is right. They pretty much being, in the news for stuff that's not related to their music now. Also Cardi, Offset, and all this type of second, third things they going through. But also they having, label and legal issues. So at that point, if they do drop an album and it drops, too late and it sounds old, then people gonna say Migos is washed up, they done. They solo albums didn't do good as well. To be honest, Takeoff had the best one to me. So, at that point, if they album is legal stuff, hang up this album for another year, or the music or the sound of rap changes and it sounds out of date, like that Lil Wayne album he just dropped not too long ago, then people really gonna be saying it's washed up. And they gotta remember, in the rap game, there's a short window. There's not like Aerosmith and Kiss. It's not 3 or 4 generations or 2 or 3 generations of family like it is in rock and roll. They can enjoy Kiss and Aerosmith and Bon Jovi. In rap, you got like a small window to get it where you fit in. And this is why the majority of rappers go broke, is because in their first record deal, they lose their publishing. They lose a lot of money. They don't make no real money. They make show money. Now the labels are actually putting their hands in the show money pocket. So, after they first record deal, depending on how long it is, I've seen some 13 albums, some shorter. After that record deal, when they go to the next record deal, by that time they burnt out. It ain't too many rappers that got longevity. Eminem, Jay-Z, LL Cool J, very few. The average hip-hop artist lucky to produce 2 albums on this level. So they had a nice little run. The Migos had, a nice 6-8 year run. If this album don't pop, they drop, then people going to be saying they washed up. And it can blow pop past you just that fast. Now, Quavo said that he just want to sit there and chop it up with Ak. He said, I just want to chop it up with you. I ain't going to punch you in the mouth. I want to pay you these new Migo records that, and you're going to still basically think we washed up. And he told him basically to keep his girl's name out his mouth, but don't get it twisted. His girl will punch him in the mouth. So I don't know what he said about, Quavo's woman. But you don't talk about nobody kids. You talk about nobody woman. You talk about nobody mama. He on grounds even if he say I'm not going to punch you after he play those records, he still got, grounds to punch you in your mouth, for talking about his girl. But that's how he, basically responded to the clip where what he said on Everyday Struggle, basically saying they on the clock because it sounded like they losing steam. And I gotta agree with DJ Akademiks said. They getting commercialized, and it happens. Almost every rap group get commercialized. There's only a few that don't really cross over. Dies Effect and some of the gangster rappers just can't cross over like that, a gangster rap group. So, I think that they have crossed over, they have commercialized, and there was some truth to what he said. We ain't heard nothing from him, but then again, there also was some truth left out. They dealing with record label issues. So, like I said before, their music definitely changed. They used to be in the bando and all this stuff, and then slowly but surely, they started to commercialize. But it happened to a lot of people. Everybody eventually crosses over, in rap because that's where the money at. and they don't have the streets no more. That's what he said, and we'll see if they get the streets back with this new album. But at the end of the day, Akademiks ain't gonna meet with no Quavo or none of that nature for real. But we'll see when those songs come out, when they're able to come out and they settle their differences with the record label. We'll see what's really going on. But Akademiks, in Everyday Struggle, they was right. There's a group that's on the clock, but also he got to tell why they on the clock. You know what I'm saying? You can criticize their lifestyle not being street no more, but streets is the ghetto is the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you get out there and you with ball players, you with celebrities, you Rodale Drive and Beverly Hills, you in Manhattan, you doing all these shows. I'm getting money. Of course, my music is gonna not be street no more. Tupac said that that's the reason why when he was blowing up, you would still catch Tupac at a house party like he was a regular person, because his surroundings, was going to dictate his music. So the farther he toured and the more money he got and the chains he got, his music would change with his lifestyle changing, because he no longer in Oakland or in Baltimore, New York, seeing crack babies and people getting stabbed and killed. He was so far away from that. You feel what I'm saying? So when he partied on the road and he at these exclusive parties, he felt that his content, his lifestyle changed. So to keep his content raw, to keep his music raw, to keep, that reality and that visual that he painted with his words the same way he did, he still went to the ghettos, he still partied. So the Migos, they now rapping about what they going through. Now they got, Versace on, and, now they really got the Versace on. Now they really got the jewelry. Now they really partying with the A-listers. They a commercial group now, like it or not. So now when you rap, that's not the hunger not there no more. Versace, that's no longer there. They really made it now. They really made it. And now they surroundings are starting to change how their music sound, and that's the maturation of an artist. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on. KodakBlack says that he's been denied to talk to his rabbi, and he's been sexually abused since going to Kentucky. Now remember, he was in kind of a temporary prison down there in Miami, and he's in this and he moved him to a maximum prison in Kentucky. Now he had some issues in Miami where he allegedly grabbed a guard's balls in a prison fight, and ever since he did that, they've been beating on his ass allegedly. They moved him to Kentucky, so they stopped beating on him there. So they stopped beating on him in Miami. They got word of what he did in Kentucky. They kept beating on him. It was so funny. Papoose kind of explained why, in a post the other day, why snitching was morally wrong. He said that the police got the blue code, and he went on and on. But the blue code, the prison code is the same thing. If this dude was doing stuff in the prison, I'm going to tell them in Kentucky from Miami that, hey, he did this, that, and the third. It's a code. No matter if I know Officer or CO Johnson in Miami to CO Mr. Jones in Kentucky, it's still that blue code. So he's suing the prison system to prove what? To prove what? Because ain't nobody gonna narc on each other. It got to the point where he said they isolated him and didn't let him use the bathroom. He boo-booed on himself. He peed on himself. He been living in hell in there. They've been beating on him. They've been isolating him, and he trying to sue to get to a minimum security prison, which that's a lot better lifestyle where you can walk around, feed the birds, and do that in the third. But you the same idiot that kept going back to jail for stupid shit. You bought a firearm knowing you had a pending felony charge that still ain't been figured out, where he got in that situation with that girl from South Carolina. So that still ain't been figured out. And a lot of people don't have no sympathy for Cuz because of how a lot of the ignorant stuff that he was saying about when Nip died and hitting on Laura London. He just kept saying stupid stuff, and people still ain't forgot the stuff that he said. So a lot of the people that's in the comment section of vloggers and stuff of that nature, they don't really have no sympathy for him. And me personally, you always got sympathy for a black man that's going through the system, but he the dude that had the money, he was, everything he touched was gold, and he just kept going back to prison for dumb shit. Why not have your mans buy the firearm and put it in his name? And then he crossed over the border with firearms from America to Canada. Right up there was at Buffalo. It's just a lot of ignorant stuff that he doing. You just gotta wonder, do he like going to prison? Just keep going back and back and back and back and forth to prison. And everybody not gonna forget the ignorant stuff that he said about Nip, about Lauren London. He said something talking about he beat up on Stinky Fingers. He was on some podcast or some interview he did, and he just, like, man, that shit ain't happen. So you really can't feel sorry for a guy that really made his own bed. But he said, other prisoners get to see, they religious, clergies, whatever. He ain't been able to see his rabbi. He's a Hebrew Israelite now. And they really sticking it to him. Not only are you a celebrity, that make you a target. Then you didn't abuse one of their correctional officers. Now, he said that somebody slipped him a Mickey on some type of drug, allegedly. And that's why he kind of got into that prison brawl with the guards. But they weren't buying it. So they beating him from Miami to Kentucky. So he was supposed to sue a few months ago. They was in there talking about suing about a situation. The lawsuit didn't happen, or I don't know what happened, but now they trying to sue him. But, the system is not meant to rehabilitate. Now, you go up to Switzerland and Iceland and, up there, their prison systems are meant to rehabilitate. They're meant to bring out law-abiding citizens. The prison system in America is slavery. It's modern day slavery. It ain't meant to rehabilitate. It meant for you to go back into the real world and come back right here or end up dead. It's not the truth. So when you go, you talking about the prison and the penitentiary system, it's no rehabilitation there. A lot of brothers use that time to read up on books and, but you go through a lot of things there. You get staph infection. You in one room with, multiple people, with two people, one, toilet. It scars people for life. And the one thing that people do come out of there, they seem to be more patient when they come out. That's like the only positive. But you've been conditioned to have this savage lifestyle. You've been conditioned to live in this way, and it's hard to come out a better man. It's hard to come out. So, for KodakBlack, hopefully come out better, but he's stuck in there for a while. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got a business question, crowd response, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App CJGood313 on PayPal, $. On Cash App, PayPal link in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also got a Facebook group. All those things in the description. Check them out. One time for the one time we gone.